Hey guys, it's Rooster. I'm hanging out at the dog park right now. It's a beautiful night out here, and I was just thinking about Helldivers 2. You know, I got a lot on my mind with the state of the game right now, and I've been thinking how I want to convey that in a video. One of the things I thought about doing was just kind of getting it out there and throwing up some video game footage, and sitting out here with my dog right now, it feels like a good enough time to talk about it. You know, one of the things that's bothering me about Helldivers 2 is all these patches. They keep coming out with these warbonds. The warbonds seem to have one decent gun and 2 or 3 guns that really no one cares about or cares to use. That one gun is very good for a couple weeks. People grow to like it, they have fun with it, and then ultimately they patch it and they nerf it. And you know, in some cases I get why they feel the need to do that. For example, the Eruptor. When the Eruptor came out, I loved it. I had a blast with it. And I don't think that's universal. I know a lot of people liked it, and I know a lot of people didn't like it. The friend group I play with, none of them really liked the Eruptor. I was the only one. They didn't like the slow bolt action fire. They only had 5 shots. They didn't like that you charge an empty round into the gun, but neither did I. So, anyways, you know, you get used to the Eruptor. It had a humongous ammo reserve, so I get why they would want to decrease that to 6. That makes sense. But, you know, everything else going on with it, the reduction in the explosion damage, the shrapnel, the direct damage, you know, I know that some of these things are bugs, or so they've said, but I don't understand why they're releasing these things when they're not coming out in good states. You know, they say, well, we did testing on it, it's working how we intended, and then we play with it. You see a lot of people complain, they record footage, they post it on Reddit or Discord or whatever, and then a couple days later they come out after they're denying it and they say, okay, well, we're gonna look at it. We're gonna think about fixing it now. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Now, to be fair, what do I know about video games? Nothing. I'm just a consumer. I'm just a customer of gaming. I don't have any experience in developing games or what it takes to patch a game or any of that stuff, but I can tell you from a consumer standpoint, what it feels like is every time a gun is fun, it gets patched, it gets nerfed, and the guns that no one wants to use, the ones that get nerfed into the ground or that start terribly, and you know, quite frankly, who would want to use some of these, like the crossbow and the Knight SMG, and you know, I don't see a lot of people using that, and by a lot of people I mean in my 250 hours of game time now, I don't think I've ever seen someone using the Knight. So anyways, they seem to say that this is what they want. They seem to say that guns are in the spot that they want them to be in, but then they come out with this latest warbond, Polar Patriots. They give us the Tenderizer, which is just a worse Liberator Penetrator. The model doesn't even match what was previewed in the trailer, and so, I don't know, it just seems like basic stuff that shouldn't be happening. Now, I do think that we as the community should give them a lot of grace, because, you know, this game really exploded. They weren't expecting this game to sell this much, to become this big, to become PlayStation Network most played game. I mean, last time I checked, it was like 8-9 million copies sold in March. And so I can only imagine that it's increased since then. And maybe I have those numbers off, but that's just off the top of my head. And the other thing I want to talk about is the counterculture of this community, where we have one set of people that is saying, hey, you know, this isn't fun. You know, the spear's lock-on mechanic isn't very good. Different bugs, different game crashes. And then you get this counterculture that comes in and says, no, every gun is good. It's a skill issue. I don't understand these people that are saying all this stuff about, you know, it's a skill issue, it's you're bad at the game, they're making the game too easy. Now, I'm pretty much a strictly Helldiver level 9 at this point. All of my videos are me on Helldiver 9. It's a rare day where I fail a mission, usually because I'm screwing around or having fun or not paying attention, and, you know, that's my right. I can do whatever I want with the game. I can play around in missions if I want, I can not take it seriously if I want, and sometimes I do that because I like to have fun. But you get these people that are yelling at other people on forums, you know, my game runs great, I haven't had any issues, why is everybody complaining? All the guns are great, the Eruptor was overpowered, the Breaker was overpowered. There is not one competitive element to this game. There's no scoreboard, there's no leaderboard, there's no PvP, and in that way there's really no reason to... What I'm trying to say is, the only reason you play Helldivers 2, the only reason, is for fun. That's all you get out of it. You don't become top 500 ranked Helldiver. You can play it casually, you can take it more seriously, but at the end of the day, you're having fun with friends or with randoms or solo or whatever you want to do. So I don't really understand this argument that people say, well, the Eruptor's overpowered. Well, what does that translate to? Does that translate to me shooting into one bullet into a crowd and getting 25 kills and then recording that and then having a blast laughing about that? Does that affect anyone else's gameplay in the game? Is that really gonna turn the tide of the battle? And the thing with the Eruptor also is you got 5 shots. It took forever to recharge the rifle. It took forever to reload the rifle. And so you would need teammates there to take care of other things. I will say that it trivialized bot fabricators and bug holes. That seems fair to say. I did not see a lot of people running with the grenade launcher after the Eruptor came out, and I do think that that was detrimental to taking the place of the grenade launcher and therefore robbing the role of that gun from people that wanted to use it. So those are really my 2 complaints. Again, the first one, Arrowhead Studios, just seems like they're trying to kind of patch the fun out of the game. A lot of the patches don't make sense. Patches come out, rolls out a whole new thing of bugs. Bugs are terrible for the game. I get that, you know, that's kind of the nature of game development, but I also think every time weapons get patched and you have bugs that ruin the damage, and then they get patched again, nerfed again, and then you fix the bugs, and now you have a gun that's finally working as intended, that's been nerfed 4 times. It's useless, no one wants to use it anymore, and you switch to something else. It kind of makes you play like, alright, what's the gun that's good right now? Let's use that for the next 2 weeks or month, and they patch it, they nerf it, another gun comes out, it's better, or it's really good, or it's overpowered. Alright, well, we all switch to that. Keep going. I mean, right now, probably going to be my next video. I want to make a Breaker Incendiary video. The Breaker Incendiary is just so good right now. It is so much fun. And I think that's something to think about in this era where I kind of feel lost about the game is, you know, when one gun, like the Eruptor, isn't as good as it once was, well, there's going to be another gun that's going to be better. It's going to be overpowered, as some would say, or fun, as I would say. I have a clip where I shot into a crowd of bugs, 1 magazine with the Breaker Incendiary, and got 64 kills. It felt a little ridiculous, but also felt amazing. And at the end of the day, that's what's fun for me. I think that's what's going to be fun for most players. They want to have stratagems and guns that kick butt, that get a lot of kills, that give them that dopamine rush, and that's just how it is. I mean, if that's what Helldivers 2, the experience, is selling you, is that feeling, or the feeling of dying a really ridiculous death that you all laugh at, or having a really epic end game clinch by one of your teammates, or, you know, a cinematic battle. That's what people want. They don't want this sweat lord Call of Duty Warzone competitive play where every game is, what's the new meta? Let's bring the new meta out. Everybody bring the Quasar cannon. Everybody bring the whatever. I don't see why they have to nerf some of these guns into the ground. But anyways, that's just my take. My dog's looking at me. She's about ready to get out of here, and I don't blame her. Seems like it's very nice out, but there's still mosquitoes that are coming out now, and that kind of sucks. But anyways, I know this is a very different video than usual. I just had some comments I wanted to share after the PlayStation debacle and the patches, and you know, a lot of people seem upset with how the game is going right now, and I don't blame them. I'm on their side, and I think people that are complaining about the people that are complaining are really not adding anything to the argument, not useful. And at the end of the day, you want players either complimenting or complaining about the game. As soon as you have people not complaining about the game's going stagnant, and you don't want that. So I think the community's doing the right thing. They have a lot of values. They came together to fight PlayStation Network. PlayStation Network changed its mind, reversed their decision for now, hopefully forever. But we still lost all those players in the other countries, so, you know, pour one out for your homies in Lithuania and Estonia and Ukraine and everywhere else that can no longer play the game for now. And we eagerly await their return, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. My next one should be a little more fun and gameplay focused. Like I said, I'm thinking I'm going to do the Breaker Incendiary. But if you like this video, give me a like and subscribe. I'm a newer channel just starting out. And if you didn't like it and you don't like this style, you know, hey, fair enough. Let me know in the comments or pass. But in either case, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.
Oh, I didn't know there was 3 doors. I kept going back and forth.